The 18th?
The 18th, yeah.
It's Friday the 18th.
772.
Every day is Friday.
Just check the audio's all fine, guys.
All right.
772. Okay.
You sound good on Twitch.
I sound good everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modest.
Indeed.
Okay, anytime you're ready.
All right, you fire away.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 772 of the Overseas Connection podcast. We are coming to you live from the West Wing in sunny for now, Roseville, California. It is February 18th, 2024. My name, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC _ on the Twitter sphere. Yes, I still call it Twitter. Never going to change. On the show this fine day, we have two lovely individuals to be with us. We have Mr. Robin Tate.
I'm here. Honestly, I am.
We also have Miss Kim Woods.
Howdy. I'm here too.
Excellent. And of course, we broadcast every Sunday, 8 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And if you happen to be in the Central Time Zone, also the Super Bowl champion time zone, it is 2 p.m. out there. We still hate that time zone. Anyway, we're on YouTube. We are on Twitch. So if you happen to catch us live, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Easy for me to say.
Right.
If you are catching this on repeat, of course, we do put out an audio version of the podcast. So download and listen at your leisure. And I think that does it for the silliness. We have a couple birthdays I guess we could talk about. Tony Smith on the 19th.
Mm-hmm. He'll be 11.
Wow.
My little nephew's
Crazy
growing up
talk.
on me. Right.
He is indeed growing just before your eyes, Kim.
Oh, I
Before your
know.
eyes.
Because he never
Happy
leaves.
birthday, Tony. Also, Peter Marshall on the 22nd. I don't think we have any guesstimations on age at this point, but I think we just throw in 72.
Sounds like a good
Feels
number.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
At least.
Did we have a birthday song?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Insert name here. Happy birthday to you.
Gentleman was not recognized.
That is the worst version of Happy Birthday ever, yet also the best version of Happy Birthday ever.
Right?
Okay. Well, let's just dive into some story time.
Hooray, story time. Hooray, story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
All right. Gosh, I don't know where I think we start with Kim and I because we weren't on the podcast last week. We let our British fellows take over the show. Thank you again, Robin, for doing that. Also,
doubt.
shout out to Mark.
You
guys fumbled that show as best you possibly could.
So much about American football. We knew all the things like
Definitely
pads
all the things.
cheerleaders and fourth down and 50 and all that stuff. We knew all the words.
Proud of you.
You definitely covered all the words. But Kim, let's besides your Kansas City Chiefs winning, it's the only time
Right.
we're going to mention it because I mean it's getting boring at this point. So
For you, perhaps, but not for me. But that's all right.
well, it's enough to go out and shoot somebody over it. Apparently.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that. That wasn't. That was pretty awful. Well, what? I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
No, this is true.
I
You
mean,
did not. For the record, Kim
But
Wood,
isn't it-
not a suspect in the Parade Day shooting.
you're making me feel like I was my fault or something. I didn't have anything to do with that.
I
So
find it curious that they've arrested all the people, but they haven't identified any of them yet, and that it was just a pile of thugs fighting with each other, and unfortunately some people got caught up in bad boys being bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. Real quickly, so there was a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. They classified this as a mass shooting in the news media. I think this really was a beef amongst gang members that probably just wanted to kill one another, and ultimately people got caught up in the crossfire. So I don't put it in the same category as a directed mass shooting.
Right.
I don't think there was intent for them to shoot other people other than the persons that they were shooting at. But who knows? I mean, stranger things happen.
And assault rifles. They all had handguns.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad, nonetheless, that this
Very
happened
terrible. It ended
at all.
Sorry.
But shout out to actually some of the citizens of Kansas City, because they literally tackled one of the gunmen as he was trying to run and escape. So bravo to them. That was fabulous, and I loved seeing that. So
right.
Okay, enough of that. What else has been going on, Kim?
Well, as I said, it's Tony's birthday tomorrow, so he's going to be down today, and we're gonna go out to eat. And I'm gonna give him his presents because I'm not gonna make him wait till tomorrow to open his presents. Because why not?
Why not?
Because I'm nice like that.
That's not nice.
Plus, I do have
Ridiculous.
pets, and
This is
well,
setting Kim. You are setting Tony up for disappointment down the road. He's now
I'm
going to
probably setting him
expect
up
that
to be
anytime.
spoiled, probably. But anyway.
Okay,
Anyway.
I have no idea what's going on, but apparently there's a vehicle outside of the walls of my house right now that is very loud.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm like,
boy.
what the hell? It's like rattling my walls. Anyway,
Not me.
Well, anyway, so yeah, he'll be down later. I'm gonna give his presents. We got him. Oh, I say we, but it was me. We got him a Razer handheld, like what I've got, because his dad is very against his Xbox. So me being me, and I guess being the asshole that I am, I got him that because I figured he could take it with him when he goes down to see his dad, and he can still play Xbox, but not actually bringing the Xbox. So I got him that, and I got him a Series 2 controller. I got him the core one though, because he wanted red. So, and I wasn't about to pay, well, what I paid for my controller through the thing. So I got him the core red one because red is apparently his favorite color. So I got him that. Plus I went on Amazon and got the little paddles and all the extra stuff with it. And by far that was cheaper than going the other route. So the little shit will be set up. Like I said, I'm probably setting him up to be spoiled for the rest of his life because he'll be like, my Aunt Kim got me all this. After I just spent $300 on a racing wheel. So, oh, well.
The first step is admitting, Kim. The first step is admitting.
I know. I can't help it. Everybody's like, well, Tony's your favorite. And he's not really, but if you look at it, it does probably look like he probably is. But
Yeah.
I love all my nephews. I don't care. So, anyway, so happy birthday to Tony tomorrow.
Let's be honest.
So,
There's always one that's a little more loved than the others. A little
well, I
more
always
favored.
pick on my dad and my brothers.
Parents
and my
can't
sister
speak about
that,
this
so-
openly, but yeah.
Yeah, because they're always like, well, we all know Kim's the favorite. So,
Right.
yeah,
The kids
so-
know. The kids know.
Right.
They see it. They know. They know.
Exactly. And other than that, as you can probably tell, I have a little bit of a cold again. So,
That's the time of
I'm
year,
hoping it doesn't devolve to ear infection and hives and all that stuff like the last one. So,
We hope the same thing for you. We really
I
do.
know, right? Because Jesus Murphys. But anyway, I'm taking medicine for it. Like I was telling Grape, I premedicated because I could feel it coming on. So I'm like, all right, it's time to take a couple of shots of
you
medicine.
premedicated.
I did. So, yeah. And other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Like I said, Chiefs won the Super Bowl. That was pretty satisfying because, like I said, going into it, honestly, the first few quarters, I didn't think we had a chance.
It was a great Super Bowl. One of the best Super Bowls probably that will go down. It was a really good
Right.
Super
I
Bowl.
mean, it was
so.
a last minute try,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That got
Yep.
there, yeah.
Yep. And I didn't realize that the overtime rules had changed. So I was sitting there telling Tony the first team that scores is going to win. And then they're like, no, we changed it and did this. I'm like, oh, all right. So we have a shot. Because I did. Going into it and the way things were going, I didn't think we were going to win. But we pulled it off, and it was good. And I scared Anthony because I got a little excited. So I was like yelling at the TV. I even got Dad into it. It was funny because Dad does not really particularly care for football. He doesn't care for Patrick Mahomes, and it's weird. And of course, I like the Chiefs. So, but even Dad got into it. He actually said nice things and was, half-ass tickled about it. So that was weird. Okay. So anyway, other than that, that's it for me. So you guys go next.
Well, I also enjoyed the Super Bowl. I thought the commercials were halfway decent.
Right.
Probably the Dunkin' Donuts commercial made me laugh the most.
Right.
But so the Super Bowl is known for two things. Obviously, three things. It's known for three things. The actual game, of course, the halftime show, which this year was Usher, and then you have the ads, and the ads actually, I think, almost, especially in years past, were equally as important as, like, I would take my bathroom breaks during the game as opposed to when the commercials come on. So this year's ads, fairly good. Nothing crazy great, but decent. I think they were going for $7 million for 30 seconds. That was the going rate for the Super Bowl this year. The Super Bowl also set an all-time record for viewership for a live television program. So
is that because of Swiftie?
I think they're doing fine.
Is that Swiftie?
Swifties definitely helped, I'm sure. I am absolutely positive of it. Taylor Swift made it to the Super Bowl.
Ridiculous.
She seems like she's generally becoming actually a halfway decent football fan. So there's that.
Right.
Okay.
Although I could have done with less showing of Taylor Swift. Every time anything happened. Anything. 49ers, Chiefs, it didn't matter. Taylor Swift.
It did kind of crack me up, though, because you see Brittany, Patrick Mahomes' wife, she's really doing everything she can to be part of Taylor's little circle.
Yep. Not surprising at all with her, but
no, not at all.
Because I can't stand her either. So it's not just Taylor Swift. I don't like Brittany either. So.
Brittany is annoying. Taylor's it's annoying because they're covering her so much.
Right.
But Brittany is genuinely annoying. Mm-hmm. The Usher halftime show, what did you guys think?
Who's Usher?
Yeah. It was good, but not memorable.
Right.
Like, did you see the opening show for the Formula One in Las Vegas?
No.
It was friggin' fantastic. Anybody that was anybody in the world was there. It was just absolutely awesome. Half-hour show, absolutely fantastic, and it should be like as good as that.
And that's the thing. The Super Bowl halftime shows, sometimes they are fantastic, sometimes they're okay. Like the year they did like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and they had 50 Cent out there. That was a great halftime show. This one, it was good. Usher was good. It just wasn't like super memorable.
Was he not the one that was fiddling with kids? No, is he not? Is he not on that one? Who was that?
Say it again.
Was he not the one that was fiddling with kids, or is that another one?
No.
Who was that?
No. You're thinking of Michael Jackson.
No. There was another sort of rappy guy that liked the music.
R. Kelly?
It was R. Kelly. Okay.
Yeah. No. Usher's a pretty decent guy from all I can tell, at least. Because he and I are so close.
Okay.
So above and beyond the Super Bowl, I'd taken my wife to Las Vegas just prior to the week earlier. I dropped her off at the airport. She went to Las Vegas with her friend. Wednesday afternoon, I went to go pick her up. She went to Las Vegas with her. And on my way to picking her up at the airport, originally we were talking maybe we would come pick Colin up from school on the way back and just bring him home instead of having him go to daycare. I get a call from school. He's been having a bunch of seizures. And so they said, we think we'd like to have you come pick him up. And I said, well, look, I'm literally 5 minutes from the airport. I'll get my wife and then I'll come pick him up. And we did that about literally 2 minutes from our house. Colin starts having a really bad seizure while we're driving. And so Cindy gives him his emergency medication. We get to the house. The emergency medication doesn't seem like it's working. We get him inside the house, and I look at him, and I could see he's getting a little bit of blue in his lips, on his tip of his nose, so he's just not getting enough oxygen. Yeah. So I immediately call 911. We are off. I mean, we didn't even set things down. Bags were just thrown into the house. we're now going to emergency room. We were there until about 8:30 at night. And he's recovered fine. Everything's good. But the challenge with Colin is if he gets like really constipated, which is very easy for him to do,
Right.
It can onset seizures very quickly. And so seizures, again, they can be small and easy to manage, or they can be like this, which is more what they call a grand mal seizure, where it's just he's completely consumed by it. And so anyway, so that was Wednesday afternoon. And then, of course, that just set the stage for the rest of the week. So Thursday, he was home all day with me because school, once you're gone for 24 hours, if you have to go to the emergency room for anything, they require 24 hours of just like kind of stay at home, at least make sure everything's okay.
Right.
So he finally goes back to school on Friday. I then drove my mom back home because I brought my mom back down for the Super Bowl. I then drove her back home on Tuesday this past week. And I'm going back to Reno to to go up with my mom to help her out with some DMV paperwork for her vehicle. And then I'll be turning around and coming back. And cross your fingers for me. It does not snow, but I fear I will be driving in the snow this go round.
You need a helicopter.
I do need a helicopter. It would be really nice.
See if Taylor will let you borrow a jet.
She's getting rid of one.
Right, there you go. Maybe you could, get it on sale or something.
See if I can get it on the cheap.
Right.
Here's $5 down payment.
Well, you drive safe.
So
drive safe.
Beyond the craziness of life, I finished up the Arnold Schwarzenegger book, Be Useful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Really fantastic. I very much enjoyed that. Some great insight into Arnold Schwarzenegger and just his, his drive for becoming the mega star that he is, as well as governor, and everything he went through as a governor. So I highly recommend it if you ever want to give a good listen. It's an audiobook. It's narrated by him, so it has a real good authenticity to it. He talked about, the interesting thing was Twins, which I never knew this, but that was the biggest grossing movie for him ever.
Wow.
Out of all the other movies he's done. Yeah. Twins was the one. And
because it
a
was
big part of it.
Low budget.
It was low budget. And also, but the interesting thing is to get the studios to take the deal to make that movie. Danny DeVito, and I forgot the name of, I think was it Cameron? No, I don't think it was James Cameron. I forget the director, whoever the director was. They did not take a salary. They just took percentage profits from the movie. And he said that was the greatest idea they ever had. It greenlit the movie, and that movie made bank.
Right.
So
it's funny.
Does he talk about choppers?
I'm sorry. Say it. Choppers? No.
Yeah. Does he talk about choppers? Ah, darn.
He does not mention Get to the Chopper, but he does talk. He talks about how he wanted to evolve himself away from just the action hero.
Movie.
Right.
Yeah. So there's really some just good insight and back and forth in terms of him dealing with state legislatures and being governor. And he talks about some of his his shortcomings when it came to the governorship and doing stuff like that. So it's good stuff.
It's funny you should say that. There's a thing there that you mentioned about his life and how hard it was. And I came across a little article today, and it struck a chord with me, and I saved it actually.
Okay.
And it's a chap who died recently, a guy called Lenny Hyde. And it was, do things that suck. Here's the hard truth. A lot of people walk by on the street are living to survive. They'll take the easiest path when presented with forks in their life roads. Why? Because it's easy. Yet, while the easy roads they take are crowded, the suck lanes are relatively empty. You'll own them, and you'll be walking on those roads with other people willing to do things that suck. And your connections and conversations on these roads will be more impactful without all the life clutter from others. So, when you're in the nearly empty gym at 5 a.m. with 5 or 6 other people busting your ass while everyone else is sleeping, know you're doing it because it's right, because it sucks. And when you're sitting at your table studying for a test or preparing for another job interview while all your amigos are out partying, you know you're doing it right because it sucks. Do things that suck and your life won't suck. and you'll set the example for those that matter to you that they shouldn't accept mediocrity either, because it sucks. And I just thought, friggin'
that's spot on. That is spot on, and that actually aligns very well with Arnold's book, to be perfectly honest.
Do things.
So gosh, last but not least, I started up a series on Netflix called Fool Me Once. And this is a British show.
Who said this? Was it Mark mentioned this last week? Did he? Maybe?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a intrigue. I don't want to call it a spy thriller because I don't quite know what it is yet, but
do you know
it is. Yeah. It's got its hooks in me. I'm through 2 episodes, and very much will be watching more. So.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil anything. That's why I'm not going to talk more through it. But it is kind of a whodunit type of show. I will say one of the funniest things about it, though, is every time I watch them getting in and out of the cars, I keep thinking, God, they keep getting in the wrong side.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sure.
All right, Robin, what about you? What's going on within your end?
A busy enough week. I've been going through this thing where before I had all these things to sell. Extras, extra bits, extra cameras, extra stuff, extra sim racing stuff, extra stuff.
Right.
And I've sold a lot this week. I have sold on eBay a microphone because I upgraded to a Shure EB, whatever it is, really fancy one. I sold something else. Oh yeah, remember the old, what was it, the Wave DX that with the big dial on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still had it, sold it. My first big rig, the first metal rig that I bought, fixed one. I actually delivered it through Facebook Marketplace. I've never done that before. Taking your life in your hands. So that was gone. And then the seat, my seat had bust, if you remember, and GT Omega were kind enough to send me a brand new big bucket seat, this big massive red bucket seat, just been released to the market, and it arrived, and I took the seat off it, and a guy came and collected it today. So fantastic, really good. So getting rid of all that, the money's coming in. And I mean, we've built a little factory here. I made a table today out of old bits of timber. I've turned it into my father. I'm getting old pieces of stuff, putting it together, an old set of IKEA legs, some timber, because the mug press now has went on and a t-shirt press has now joined. So the t-shirt press, so the factory is coming. So t-shirts printing.
I'm just waiting for the small children missing fingers.
Yeah. So it's all out now. It's all out sitting there. I've got blank t-shirts on the way to see if I can mess those up. And I mean, over the last few days, I've helped Judith get a domain name registered with her friend for her little business, a domain name. We ordered a label printer for her as well and her friend. They were over last night. It was all like a business friggin' meeting. Set up an Etsy store for her. It's just that the whole thing is busy. So that's good. And tomorrow morning, I'm getting ready for the next round of Warriors, our championship into round 4, and I've been fiddling around with some concept ideas. So I'd done like a little preamble before with all of the latest results, where people were in the championship. But this time I'm doing it like a news broadcast with a news background.
Okay.
Me standing there reading the news, and the screen comes down and the pictures will be on it. And anyway, it's going over the top.
Give it some production value to it.
So tomorrow morning that's there. So a big bucket seat arrived. It's really helped my back. It's a lovely big thing. It looks like the Big Brother chair. Big red thing, or Santa Claus's chair. There's these massive big wings here, Judith has 3 days. She's training people for 3 days this week. So tomorrow morning I'm going to do that and get groceries, and then pick up the kids while she's doing the training. And Tuesday I'm streaming, and Friday I'm streaming. Yeah, so every day's Friday, dude. Every day is Friday.
It's starting to sound like every day is a Monday, Robin.
I'm bloody busy.
Just saying, you're getting busier and busier and busier.
I don't know. What does it say? The tasks expand to fill your time. It is nutty. I mean, I took the kids.
Yeah.
Well, Judith was at church this morning. I took Isabella and Jasmine down to the park. And while they were playing in the park for an hour, I was on the laptop writing a script and doing some administration stuff for Bongo Racing. Oh, yeah. I've also, be interesting enough, the person who designed the logo for Bongo Racing's out in India. It was one of these people per hour, or that sort of thing, you know?
Right.
And I've got her, somebody, the same person designing a logo for her thing called a wee favor.
Okay.
So wedding favors, small gifts, party items, that sort of trinkets, those sorts of things. So that logo's been done, but I'm also getting that same person now to do a caricature of me in a race suit, caricature, big head, to use as well. So that'll be interesting to see what comes back over the next few days, and I'll share that with you. Yeah, but look, no, things are busy. I'm enjoying it. I was supposed to meet up with a couple of representatives from my old company, to go through some stuff, but they blew me off. The MD had asked me.
They blew you off.
Yeah, so,
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're busy. Can you come do it? I'm going, no, you come to me, or I'm not driving away down there. No, I've done enough driving. You can come meet me there. Oh, no, not this week. No. So I've done my bit.
Okay.
So I'm officially finished, I think, on the 2nd of March. And I'm so looking forward to that bit. That bit's done.
Right. Now, but technically, aren't you already done?
But I'm on I'm still employed. I'm on gardening leave.
Gardening leave. That's what they call it?
Yeah, gardening leave. So no contact with customers or staff. And you're still employed. Unless
they contact you to ask you questions.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Until it's either the 2nd or the 8th. So over the next week or two, then I'm supposed to hand back my phone. They're not getting it. I actually transferred my number into my work number, which I've had for over 20 years. I transferred it over to my personal account the last couple of days.
There you go. Smart.
Because they're not getting that back, because it doesn't really ring anymore, because all my little clients were moved over to other people, and it's just I had taken out a new number and a new phone. I thought, God, just the thought of like transferring everything, and then
that's a nightmare.
And then in 6 months, realizing there's one thing you didn't transfer.
Yeah.
And it's attached to your phone, so I'm just keeping it. So tough.
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that, but when I took my role here at my current company, I just told them, I said, I don't need a cell phone. I will use my personal phone for any kind of mobile need I have, and that way it just makes it easy. It stays with me. Yeah.
Well, the joyous thing is that the whole company, because it's based in a different country, in Mexico,
right?
They're all on a different provider, but the people in Northern Ireland, they're on another provider, and since day dot, I have controlled the account. Okay. So even if they want to make a change, it has to be approved.
They can't,
even though they pay the bill on it. So it was no problem changing over the number. So tough. But I'll just be happy. Just it's a strange thing, Kim, because when somebody contacts me from there, or just if I start to think about it, I get uptight again. Mm-hmm. So I want it gone. I want it gone. I want it gone.
Okay.
I want it gone. And that'll be the so I hand that. The car will go back, and I've got my little min now, so I'm happy as Larry. And when that's cut off, and I can put up that LinkedIn post. This should be a bitter post, but it's not going to be. I just want to thank everybody for the last 20 years, because I haven't been able to do that yet. So I just want to close that all.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So
just want closure out of it.
Closure off.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Anything else, Robin?
Understandable.
That's it. Oh, Halo. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Halo. Yeah, it's good. It's funny. I couldn't remember what happened to Mickey, even though she's not called Mickey.
Right.
But now Mickey. Okay. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blew out my mind. You blew out my mind. So that's good, and it's interesting that the guys are struggling with feelings.
Right.
And it's nice that some big storyline from games has started to come into play now.
Yes.
which is interesting because we've been there and we've lived through that. We know
Right.
what's coming. We know what's coming. So yeah, it's very well done. It's very well produced.
Yeah, I think I went back and I kind of watched the last episode before I got into the first two episodes. I forgot to talk about this, but I mean, very similar to you, Robin. I think it's and it does feel like it's a little bit like they put a little bit more money into it this go round.
Okay.
Animations feel a little bit better so far. The storyline, again, I'm curious to see where it goes. I know the overarching story, which you were alluding to.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this all pans out. It's funny because I brought the show up and gave Cindy a real quick high level synopsis of how the Spartans came to be, that they were kidnapped as kids and you know they put clones in place of the kids that were set to die within a few months of being in the families, so the family would just think their kid died. And Cindy's like, what a horrible show.
Yeah. Judith went, what are you
She's
watching?
like, so you're watching children being murdered. And I'm
Judith,
like, not.
It's the last 10,
maybe.
Sort of.
It's the last 10 minutes of episode 1. Let me finish it. You don't have to watch this, darling. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, real quick question. And this is mostly to Kim, but we can apply it to Robin too.
All right.
Mr. Christopher Matthew in our Discord channel posted up a lovely question. Now that American football has come to an end, what sports are you following, if any? So, Kim, I will throw this to you first. And my assumption was none.
Right.
Because I've only known you to be a football fan, but now I'm curious. Are you following any other sports in the wake of baseball?
Yeah, I'm a Cardinals fan, and if anybody remembers last year, we were terrible. I mean, we were like pre-Mahomes Chiefs level awful.
Okay.
So, yeah, baseball. So I'm hopeful that this year we end up. I'm not thinking we're going to go with the World Series, but hopefully we don't end up at the bottom of the barrel like we did last year.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so baseball for Kim. Robin.
Yep.
The World Series.
What sports?
What world?
Yeah.
Do you play
and I kind of know the answer to this. It's racing, right? F1?
We have Formula 1, absolutely. Anything with wheels generally will grab my attention. So last night, yesterday,
racing.
whatever you want to say, was the Bathurst 12-hour race, which is in Australia, Mount Panorama. They start at 5:45 in the morning. It's dark, and they get into light, and they go until 5:45 in the evening. And it's an epic track. So there's guys in there like Valentino Rossi. You may have heard that name. He was a famous motorcycle racer, and he's moved over in the last few years to these cars. And this last year, this was his first, and he was pretty good. And this year, he's fantastic. He's really got it. He's and it's an epic race. It's this fantastic track. If you can imagine, unbelievably fast, big long straights, and then sections like Monaco over the top of a mountain, really, really tight with walls at each side. Right. And when our friends were over here last night, I had it on in the background on YouTube. I actually went to bed with it listening. I went to bed at 12:30 or so last night, listening to the commentary. Fell asleep with it, of course. But I had it on. And funny, our race in Bongo Racing was at Mount Panorama this Thursday. Or Thursday past, and I put it on, and I put on my footage, and it's so accurate, it's so precise. Anyway, so yeah, like anything with wheels generally.
Okay.
Now that American football is finished, I'm brokenhearted. Actually, I really am. I mean, I can't wait to see them when they're throwing cans at each other and stuff like that, and playing ping pong and on off season and all those special skills games that they do. That'll be good fun. Do they play hopscotch to see who can do the best hopscotch? That's sidestep.
What if it was combat hopscotch?
Oh dear.
That could be something amazing. Real fast for me, it's pretty straightforward. Baseball to a lesser degree, but hockey. Absolutely.
I love hockey.
And,
we'll pick up some Belfast
throw that
Giant
up
stuff.
there.
Yeah, we'll pick up some Belfast Giant stuff. We'll get the big finger out.
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah, I also
the
like
big
drag
finger.
racing too. So, and that's going to be starting up
You,
again.
you watch
soon.
drags? What?
No, drag racing, not
Oh,
drag
okay.
queens. Drag racing. Nothing against drag queens.
Wow.
Drag queens, drag racing?
Drag queens in a
That
drag.
might be interesting,
yeah, that would
actually.
be good.
I might, you
And they
know,
went up in
I don't know how they
flames.
get the
Their
big hair to
skirts-
fit in the helmet.
Their
but-
sequence went on fire in a drag race. Horrible top fuel disaster.
Yeah. Drag races are pretty interesting. They are.
Yes.
I mean, it's.
I like
it's-
drag racing better than the race car around the track over and
Yeah.
over again.
I think
But I do, you know.
Greg relates to drag racing, you know, because it lasts about as long as him having sex. So.
This is true. This is true.
There's a
I
big
just turned to
build-up.
Sydney the
There's a
other
big
day. and
build-up.
I said, we've got 5 minutes. I don't need more than 3.
Yep. Big protrusion. Big balls at the back. Big long pointy bit. And he spins it up, talks a good game, talks the fight. Then he goes and yeah, it's done. Out goes the parachute. Quick, go to the
All
fridge.
right. Speaking of the parachute, let's transition to games we are playing.
Shall we
Alrighty.
a game?
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser.
I've been doing racing. I'm doing racing tonight.
Easy peasy. Robin has been racing. Kim, I
Right.
see Cat Quest completed.
I did. I finished it.
The cat is
Victory
fixed.
achieved. Well, I guess for now till Cat Quest 2. But I haven't started that one yet. So yeah, I played Cat Quest. I finished it last night. It was fine. I mean, you like cats, you like questing. There you go. You got a game for it. Played some COD Horde Point with Anthony. Anthony enjoyed it. So did I. I think it's quickly becoming my favorite mode.
Okay.
Even over regular zombies, because I don't like with regular zombies that if you don't get out of there and you die, you lose everything, and then your weapon's got to cool down. It's a real pain in the ass. So anyway, I just want to be on there to shoot zombies, and this kind of scratches that itch. And of course, Brotato is now on Game Pass, so I fired up some Brotato on the Xbox, and I'm still enjoying it because you're Rambo Potato. What's not to like? So
What is not to like about that? Indeed.
right.
You inspired me, by the way, with your purchasing of Banishers,
yes.
I believe it was.
Yes. And
And
so look for
so-
that on Game Pass because I picked it up the other day. So
I'm hoping it comes to Game Pass. Yeah.
my willpower sucks. So
But you inspired me, and so I jumped on, and instead of paying for something full price, I went to the sales and
Right.
I found this bundle of games for $2, mind you.
oh, there you go.
And it's Redeemer, Ashes of Gods, Redemption, and 9 Monkeys of Shaolin.
Oh.
I played all 3 subsequently. 2 of these games I think are kind of similar. Redeemer is, think of it like a top-down brawler beat 'em up game.
Right.
You play a character that is in like a monastery that gets attacked, and so you're basically taking on the bad guys. It has kind of a kung fu like feel to it, but then you are able to pick up weapons from now and then and use them against the other bad guys, but they will break. They will run out of ammo, and then you
Right.
just go on to the next thing. But it looks fun. It looks nice as well, visually speaking. And 9 Monkeys of Shaolin, similar in that you are playing a monk from a monastery, but it's very kung fu like.
Right.
And so enjoying that as well. And then Ashes Gods of Redemption. This reminds me more. If you remember the movie Heavy Metal, the cartoon.
Yep.
That art style is what they have done for all of their cutscenes in this game. And it is a turn-based combat game, but it's also like a story-driven choices matter kind of game.
Choices do matter, Greg.
Choices do matter. They do.
All the time.
So again, for $2, you get all 3 games. It's
Nice.
a fantastic little deal. And I was just, something different, something fun.
Well, there you go.
And so far, pleased with all 3, although Ashes of the Gods, probably my least favorite out of the 3, mostly because the dialogue outside of some of the cutscenes is all written. And that's a killer for me. So if I'm playing it late at night, I'm falling asleep.
Right.
But that's it for me. Easy peasy week. And really didn't have a lot of time for gaming, but I
neither.
snuck in some hours for those games and enjoying what I've been playing. Okay, quiz time.
Oh,
Oh boy.
it's
Yep,
a quiz.
yep. We're gonna get through this stuff.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Yeah, it's our Metacritic score quiz.
Woo!
Woohoo! All right, here's how it works. Again, you are going to be given 3 different games. This week we're looking at the year 2013.
Oh boy.
So all of the games I have selected have come from the year 2013. You will guess the Metacritic score for the platform I tell you, and you can be above it or below it, or right on.
Mhm.
The closest to right on is obviously best. And at the end of this, your cumulative score will add up and will produce a winner. Last time we did this, Robin won. He only had a 3-point differential. Kim was basically a -7 on her scoring, and that's how Robin won. He was 3 points closer to 0. Again, the key here is you want to be as close to 0 as possible. Hopefully that all makes sense. Here we go. First game up is BioShock Infinite
Oh dear.
on PS3. So we will start with Robin. Robin, what did BioShock Infinite on PS3? What is your guess? What did that score?
Pardon me.
65.
65. Interesting. Okay. Kim, BioShock Infinite on PS3.
I'm gonna go a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna say 78.
78.
I think if I remember correctly, it sucked on PS3.
So BioShock Infinite on PS3 got 94.
Well,
Wow.
So both off. Robin,
A little bit.
fairly off by a significant amount, but there's time to make a comeback. So here we go. Next game, again from 2013, XCOM Enemy Unknown
oh wow.
on the PC. We will start with Kim this time. Kim, what do you think XCOM Enemy Unknown on PC got?
90.
Kim says 90. Robin, what do you say?
Xbox Enemy Unknown. 94.
Oh, goes to 94. Kim was closest. It was 89.
Oh wow.
There we go. So right now, again, Kim holding a lead, but it's narrowing a little bit here. It's narrowing. Okay. Mass Effect 3
Oh god.
Citadel on Xbox 360. Mass Effect 3 Citadel on Xbox 360. Robin, you are first. What do you think Mass Effect 3 scored? This is Kim's favorite game ever, by the way.
Oh yeah. Love me some Mass Effect, really.
But those dicks, again, didn't like the end because they had 3 choices. And they didn't like the 3 choices. I loved it.
A lot of people did.
A number. 78.
It says 78. Kim, what do you think Mass Effect 3 on the Xbox 360 scored?
I'm gonna be a little nicer. I'm gonna say 85.
Fuck's sake. Fuck hell.
Kim, you are on fire. It was 84.
Hey!
So there we have it. Kim takes the round this week pretty convincingly. She kind of walked away with this. Robin, you hurt yourself with BioShock Infinite on PS3. That hurt. But so far, nobody has really taken the lead. It's pretty much Kim and Robin on the board for a win each. But it will be cumulative score at the end of the day. So week to week doesn't necessarily matter. It's at the end of this. We'll look at all of the points and figure out who has the most, who has the least. And least is the most important.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. Here's one for you. Grand Theft Auto 5.
So I have a bit. I would be cheating if I didn't say I saw, and I believe it was a 94.
On Xbox 360.
Was it 96?
80.
Somewhere in there.
80.
It scored high.
80.
Oh, 80 on the. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. Very good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's good. I like it.
All right. Well, we've got news. It really. This is a podcast about a podcast. Robin, let's dive into the news.
Okay. Well, when there wasn't over the last couple of weeks, our T-shirted friend, hey Batch, had mentioned that there was some big announcement and that's going to come, and he was listening to people, and everybody said so many things. 2 and 2 made racist, and it was unbelievable. And really, it was all a big pile of poo. So the business update.
That's a good summation.
Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, and Phil Spencer held a podcast to discuss the business plan and course for the Xbox. The key takeaways: Game Pass now is at 34 million subscribers. All Xbox games will continue to launch day and date to Game Pass. Diablo 4 will be coming to the service on March the 28th. That's 5 months after they bought Activision Blizzard. 4 games will be coming to other platforms to test the waters. We don't know what those 4 games are. Players shouldn't expect games like Starfield or Indiana Jones to be part of this. And no game names given, but speculated, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment. And new hardware was teased this year, nothing specific, but if the leaks are true, it's a revised Xbox Series X and a new, for Kim, Elite 3 controller. Next gen hardware being worked on, the biggest leap ever, according to Sarah Bond. So it was really a pile of poo.
You know, it's funny because I think about the discourse of all of this leading up to it, right? And I mean, people were like clamoring it was the end of Xbox and that they were getting out of the console business,
Right.
and people were like, well, the silence of Phil Spencer is deafening, and that's, you know, this is why. I just looked at it and I thought, you know what? My guess is they had this planned. It leaked out faster, sooner than they had hoped. But there's another part of me that wonders if maybe Xbox didn't leak this stuff out themselves to get people into a fervor and then make the announcement and people are like, oh, okay.
34 million subscribers. Multiply that by whatever it is, 10 or 12 quid a month.
That's a lot.
Nah, they ain't going anywhere. Fucking ways up. And anybody.
No, according to some of the people on the Twitter sphere, they say that 34 million is not a lot. So,
well,
from my
and
basement,
it has slowed. Its growth has slowed, and they even talked about it. They did say the growth has slowed for Game Pass, but it still is growing. And you know, that's up for debate. We're going to have some news from Sony in a little bit that we'll talk about that also kind of points to the situation of the console space is changing.
Right.
And being, you know, it used to be that consoles drove gaming, and now I think for the first time we're really seeing software is what is driving gaming and services is driving gaming.
I would say that. So Isabella has a good Kindle that we got her, and Jasmine has an iPad. And they play almost the same game, slight different variants. This home make thing. You have to make a home and you get a present every day and you come back, and they're playing games completely differently. And it's not about the hardware anymore. It's about, can they play the same game?
Right.
So yeah, you're right there. So yeah, I don't know what do people expect? Doom and gloom? I don't know.
Well, doom and gloom gets clicks.
Yeah,
and that's really, I think, what we experienced was a lot of outlets jumping on this moment to drive engagement.
Yeah. It was a whole lot of excitement, or whatever you want to call it, about nothing when it comes down to it.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, we've heard you. That's all I said. He didn't say anything. You could, if you read that tweet. There was nothing in it. It was the perfect phone call.
Right.
It really was. There's nothing in it bad. It's just crazy. Anyway, Helldivers 2 concurrent Steam player count is now higher than all other PlayStation PC launches combined.
And this is interesting because this is the first Sony first-party exclusive for the year, and they launched it day and date on PC. Hint, hint, somebody made a prediction about something like this. But yeah, it's doing very well.
It looks good. I kind of want to try it. To be fair.
My biggest fear with Helldivers 2 is longevity.
Right.
If it's going to be, you play it for a period of time and then you just kind of burn out it because there's not a lot of variety, but I could be totally wrong. Right. So I might pick it up on PC myself.
Right.
Assuming my potato can run it.
Your Steam Deck can run it.
And this is also true. So this actually transitions really well into the next news story. So we might as well jump into that, Rob.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. It's another non-news story as well, to be honest with you. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer of a no story. So, Sony shares fell most in 2 years. Bullshit. After it says PS5 growth has likely peaked. Sony shares fell as much as 8.4% on Thursday and closed down 6.5% following the publication of the company's latest quarterly results. While Sony had previously hoped to ship 25 million PlayStation consoles during its current fiscal year ending in March, it now expects to miss that target by 4 million units. It also forecast a gradual decline in PS5 unit sales from next fiscal year onwards and said it has no plans to release any new entries in major franchises like God of War or Spider-Man during the 12 months ending March 2025. During a Q&A session following Sony's financial results briefing, company president and PlayStation chairman Haruhi Toka said he wants to be aggressive when it comes to improving gaming division's profit margins, which he said could partly be achieved with a greater focus on bringing first-party games to PC. Now, I just done a little quick look at my stocks app, and as we speak, after hours, Sony shares are at $88.73. Okay.
88. Okay.
In October, they were $80. So that's not the lowest that they've been in years. Now, in January 22, they were $126. So they have fallen off, and if I look at the graph over time, this year has been up and down. The last 12 months, but as I say, this is nowhere near the lowest. They were $8 lower in just October. So again, this is.
Well, I think there's a couple interesting takeaways from this the fiscal results and the interim CEO talking about this. One, he talked about they need to improve their profit margins, and that was actually one of the interesting things that came out is that while revenue was up and it was like an all-time revenue number for them, their profit margins were actually down.
Which is the same as every company on earth at this moment in time, pretty much.
Right.
In the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah. So it was like a good news, bad news kind of scenario for investors, and I think that's why you had this reaction to some of the financial information. Also, them saying they expect to sell less and less hardware moving forward means they think they have peaked on the PS5 growth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is disappointing to many because I think many thought they would have the same trajectory as the PS4. And that now is not the case. That we're not seeing that trend anymore.
Now, Mr. Matthew here is saying that the PCs of the future. I would say that with the Steam Deck, that has helped. And I also think PCs aren't just as scary any longer. I think things like Steam and stuff like that have become more approachable. So, yes. But I think still people also sometimes because I switch on my gaming rig tonight, there's been an Windows update and I know it will have completely screwed my triple screens and I'll have to reset all that again. Every time there's an update it does that, and every time I switch the PC on to do a stream, the cameras have changed, USB ports or there's something changes every single time, and that's a part of PC gaming which ain't great. But there you go.
Yeah, I think the future is there's still space for both of these types of devices. Yeah. PC is always going to have the mass appeal because it is a multitask device. You can not only play your games on it, but you can do your emails, you can do your finances, you can do art creative projects, you could film videos and edit them. So so a PC obviously is not a solely gaming focused device, but I think the gaming devices, as we know them, are going to transition to be more of a just a PC-like experience. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next Xbox or PS5 or 6, whatever you want to call it, actually has the ability to allow apps like Steam.
Yeah. Why not?
You know, and once that happens, then suddenly you really have kind of just created it's not about the hardware anymore.
Yeah.
It's about the platforms.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's some interesting stuff, and we'll just keep trudging along. Kim, we've got some new releases to get to.
We do indeed. So, alrighty, your new releases for February 18th through the 24th are Balatro. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I almost called it Balto, but that's the dog. Anyway, for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. On February 20th, Quomp. I think that's how you pronounce that one. Or Comp. Maybe it's Comp. I don't know. Anyway, Quomp 2 for the PS5.
Comp.
Well, I think it's a Q. So
it's misspelled, whatever it is.
Well, it isn't, but you know. Anyway, whatever this weird game is, it's coming out for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Switch, and PC on the 20th as well. The Last Epoch for the PC, which is one I've heard about. Supposedly it's the Diablo killer, I think, if I remember right. It'll be out February 21st. Terminator, Dark Fate, Defiance for the PC, out the 21st as well. Oh, God. Incolinati, I think. God bless you. For the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 22nd. Pacific Drive for the PS5 and PC, February 22nd as well. Sons of the Forest, or as Robin has called it, Sons of a Bitch, the Forest. Either way, it'll be out for the PC on February 22nd. And Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass, Side Order. Weird. For the Switch on the 22nd as well. Oh, I just closed it all out, so hold on a minute. There we go. I hit the wrong button. Anyway, Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass, Side Order for the Switch on the 22nd as well. And those are your new releases.
Fantastic. Kim, while we have you here real fast.
Right.
Shout out to the chat.
Alrighty. Oh, hey, there's a new one in the chat. There's a Lord. Alrighty. As said, Lord is in the chat. Batch is in the chat. CP Matthew and Boomer's all been in the chat today. So thank you, fellas. Oh, I think there's also a John, or a Major Avenge, sorry. He's also in the chat. So thanks, fellas, for jumping in on the chat. Appreciate it.
Just one more. When I see Terminator, it reminded me, I know we were talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, but one of the guys that I race with, Travis, he's an American. He's a character.
Right.
He's in the music industry, and he's out there, man, dude. He's a dude. He's so funny. But we were chatting the other night, and he was saying that he didn't sleep the other night because he had a terrible dream that Arnold Schwarzenegger's lower leg was chasing him.
Oh, shit.
What? The foot just wouldn't die. It just kept coming after me, just the leg. So,
oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
I have a quality people around me.
Yes, you're surrounded by quality individuals.
What are you playing this week, Greg?
Well, we're going to attempt to get Halo back on track this Wednesday with Halo Nights. It has been off basically because I've been missing in action. Work has also been hectic. But the desire is to get back with Halo on Wednesday. We've got Fatal Fridays with Mark running that.
Right.
So also, Mark was missing in action on this last Friday, feeling under the weather. So it was a bit of a miss week, but we'll be back on track. We'll be back, just like you, Robin, racing every Friday of every day of the week.
No, not really. Tuesdays, Thursdays. Well, sorry, this week, my schedule, tonight, Bongo Roulette, straight after this till 9:30. Then Tuesday day, I'm streaming from 9 until about 3. Then Tuesday evening, it's practice for the community for the Warriors race. Thursday night is our round 4 of the Warriors season. Thursday morning from 9 until 3, I'm streaming, and then it's all around the world again. So,
you know what's funny is you say those dates and the days of the week, and all I hear is Friday.
Yeah,
So.
Friday.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
All right.
It's exhausting.
It's good to be you, Robin. It's good to be you.
Right?
We
should all be so lucky.
See, that's typical. I'll probably have a heart attack and die tonight, and they'll be off. Jesus, he had it all ahead of him. He was having so much fun, and then they'll just. That's what happens. Don't give up your work. No.
Too much fun.
All right.
Anyway.
On that depressing note,
Right?
Yeah.
let's do some shout outs. By the way, if you are in the chat and you've been here listening along, thank you. We very much appreciate you joining us live. Come back next week. We will be doing it again. Potentially the same cast, maybe a different cast of characters, but we'll be there. But like, subscribe, do that social media stuff.
I've liked. I've went onto YouTube and liked it tonight. There's only one like. Somebody go on and like it. We used to have 150
needs to be multiple
subscribers.
likes.
Now we've got 148.
Twitch needs to come up with a way to like YouTube things.
Yes.
They would never do that, for the record. All right. Let's get some shout outs going. Kim, start us off, please.
Alrighty. I'm gonna shout at you guys as always. You know, you've covered my butt the last few weeks because I've been sick and or had some sort of thing coming up, so I appreciate that. Today we also have a thing coming up, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here.
Butt covering.
So.
Sorry, that's more like butt covering.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for that. I love you guys. You know that. So anyway, shout out to everybody else. Hopefully you have a good week this week. Shout out to my nephew Tony, who will be 11 tomorrow. Jesus Christ, do I feel old.
Jeez, you've been doing drugs all no time.
So anyway,
you sound as old as you look. We know.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, depending on the day, and if I have a cold, I might sound older than I am. Anyway, that's enough for my blathering. Over to Bongo. So
we got a new subscriber. Batch Gaming has subscribed. Yay!
Woo!
Mark has a growth, a tumor in his head tonight, and he's having a small operation to get it removed. So hopefully that headache will go away.
Feel better, Mark.
Yeah, feel better, Mark, and we'll see you next time around. And Greg and family, hang in there, guys. Hopefully it'll get better, and a lot of travel, and you drive safe. And to Lord and CP Matthew, he's bound to be ready to come back onto the show, Greg. Bound to be ready. To all the people in the chat and interact with us through the week, it's fab. So thank you. Mark is cleaning his toilet.
All right.
I think that was an in-joke this week. All right, Greg, take some.
Shout out to Nicole Radowski. Nick, yeah. She reached out to me, really sweet, kind words to me, just talking about dealing with the passing of my father. So I very much appreciated her reaching out. And shout out to the ER team at Kaiser Hospital for the fantastic care they gave to my son. Shout out to Mother Nature, because oddly, so far, every time I've had to drive up to my parents and see my mom, it's been a really easy drive. Now, I don't think I'm going to get that lucky this time, but it was supposed to be raining all day today. And I look outside right now and it is sunshine and blue sky.
There you go.
So
I get it wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping they have it wrong again come tomorrow. But we'll see.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. That's it. We're done. Come back next week, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, this has been the Overseas Connection podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bye.
And we're done.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.